welcome back to Costa Rica, everybody, and welcome to sadly our final destination in this beautiful country.
As you can see from behind us, we've traded the mountains for the beach and we've headed down to Manuel Antonio, which is on the Pacific coast.
We're going to spend 5 full days here and we hopefully be able to show you around what to do, where to eat, your usual things. If you watched our Puerto Escondido videos back from Mexico, then you know that we're not the beach kind of people. We prefer the mountains and jungles and hikes.
The great thing about Costa Rica is that you're never far from the mountains, the jungles, wildlife. It's like here in Manuel Antonio, the jungle literally comes right down to the beach. So you can go hiking in the morning and then chill on the beach in the afternoon. It's also one of the best places in Costa Rica to spot wildlife. We'd not seen a single monkey our entire 2 weeks in Costa Rica. And then within like 2 hours of being here, we just saw monkeys like right next to where we were staying.
And this morning when we arrived to the beach, we literally spotted a sloth. I
mean, it's literally like just over there in the tree.
We'll show you in a video.
It's the closest one we've ever seen.
Yeah, on our own without a guide. And our first destination is actually right behind us. You can just about see it. So let's go.
The number one place to see on any visit to Manuel Antonio has to be the Manuel Antonio National Park, which is where we're starting our tour of the area. This park is one of the top destinations in the entire country, and for good reason. It combines all the best bits of Costa Rica and throws them together into the smallest and perhaps the most diverse national park in the country.
You've got dense jungle that's absolutely teeming with life, and apparently in this small area it's a little bit easier to catch some of the more elusive creatures. That's what we're hoping anyway. And when you're done with hiking and spotting wildlife, you can head down to 2 of the most beautiful beaches in the country to relax in this tropical paradise. But more on those a little bit later. So we've just entered into Manuel Antonio National Park, and before we start exploring, there are a few things that you should know if you're wanting to visit this place.
The entry fees are $16 each without a guide. If you want a guide, then it'll be a bit more expensive. It's open every day but Tuesday between 7 AM and 4 PM.
But probably best to get here as early as possible so you can make the most of your ticket.
Lastly, make sure to be aware of scammers. There are apparently a lot of scammers if you come here with your private vehicle, with parking, but also they're trying to sell you tickets as well to the parks.
Amigos, tengo el tour.
Thank you.
El ticket for the park.
Thanks. Which you can't officially buy in person, you have to do it online. We're going to start by walking as many of the trails here in the park as we can. There are 6 trails in total. They range in length from like 1.5 kilometers to a few hundred meters. They're all really well marked, easily accessible trails, open to sort of everyone really. Hopefully we're going to have loads of cool animal encounters along the way.
So much wildlife. I can't believe how much we've seen in 10 minutes without a guide.
Like, this park absolutely wins already on the amount of wildlife. So there's one animal that we just haven't seen yet in Costa Rica, and that is a snake. Well, we're not sure we want to see one too close.
I don't mind seeing some, but I wouldn't want to see that very poisonous one.
No, yeah, apparently here they have the fer-de-lance, which is the most deadly viper in Costa Rica. We're keeping our eyes peeled, but they're just really, really hard to spot unless you get really lucky. We're just finishing up the trails now, and they've been really good actually, like a lot longer than I thought they were going to be.
Maybe they're not that long, but because of the heat, it takes you a little bit longer to walk around,
sure.
And it's quite like a lot of steps up and down.
The wildlife here is just crazy. It's like
insane how much we've seen.
We've seen like 4 or 5 times the amount we saw in any of the other parks, and such a variety of different animals as well. So that is 100% worth your entry ticket right there, just to see how many different animals there are. But we have worked up quite a sweat, as we said, doing these hikes, so I think it's about time we went and checked out the other half of what makes this park so special. So Manuel Antonio National Park actually has 4 different beaches that can only be accessed if you buy an entry ticket into the park, and they are... So there's Playa Escondido, which is just down at the bottom of this cliff over here, and I don't think it is accessible to the public because it doesn't seem like there's any path down to it. So it's in the park, but it might be protected in some way, that's why you can't get to it. And then there's Playa Gemelas. And the 2 most popular beaches by far are Espadilla Sur Beach and Manuel Antonio Beach, which are on either side of the Cathedral Point Peninsula. If you could imagine a tropical paradise in your mind, these beaches would be pretty close to what you would come up with. In fact, Manuel Antonio, which you can see behind me, was actually voted in the top 25 beaches in the world by the TripAdvisor's Traveler's Choice Awards in 2019, so it's definitely got something special. So I think for the rest of the afternoon, we're just gonna chill on the beach, soak up the sunshine, and enjoy this tropical paradise.
As the sun began to set, we headed back to the town of Quepos where we were staying and spent the evening down by the harbour to watch the incredible sunset out to sea.
Seen that they have some beautiful beaches in the Manuel Antonio National Park. However, you probably don't want to pay multiple entries just to go to the same beach again. So they do have lots of different beaches along the coastline here in Manuel Antonio that are free to enter, and then you don't have to pay like a pretty expensive entry fee to access.
And it is just as beautiful, if not even,
maybe even
prettier
more.
actually.
So we got here nice and early, and the beach we're starting on is Espadilla Norte Beach, which is the same beach as one of the ones in Manuel Antonio. It's just that part of the beach in there is obviously only able to access that if you buy a ticket.
Welcome to Nauyaca Waterfalls, or well, at least the start of a 6-kilometer trail to the waterfall.
Yeah, nothing comes easy. We had a super early start this morning because the waterfalls are actually about a 45-minute drive down the coast from Quepos. Obviously we don't have a car, so we had to get the local bus, which takes probably just over an hour. Plus then from a place called Dominico, we had to get a taxi all the way up to the waterfalls, which is like another 15 minutes and cost about $20. So
yeah, that was expensive. Although there are local buses, which I will detail in a blog post that will be linked below.
So we're hoping to get one of those buses back when we return from the hike. You can also take a tour, obviously, but we were checking prices.
That was crazy expensive,
yeah.
like $130 per person. But if you're short of time and if you have the money to spend, you can definitely take a tour.
So we've arrived safely, fairly easily to the waterfalls. Now we've just got to do the 6-kilometer trek to them.
Which is pretty steep already.
Yes.
So not looking forward to the way back, which will be probably around midday, which is the hottest part of the day. So
it's going to be pretty brutal.
Yes. I think it's much easier to jog downhill.
This hill is like ridiculously steep.
I really don't want to come back. 1 kilometer done, 5 more to go. We got to the start of the official trail. There are actually two different entrances you can get into it. The one we came to is kind of the longest, but it's definitely the cheapest one if you do it on your own. The other one was about $30 entry fee. However, it's only about a 30-minute walk, whereas this one is only $10 per person to get into the waterfall, but obviously it's a 4 or 6 kilometer hike depending on whether you have a vehicle or not.
So basically this one offers you a bunch of different options. You can do the hike like Kitty said. You can also do horseback riding tour or a 4x4 tour that takes you down to the waterfall. Obviously you're going to pay more for that, but you do have some different options here if you don't want to do the hike. It's really up to your personal preference which one you want to do. For us, we just wanted to see the waterfalls, and we're obviously tight on time because of the bus schedules, so we just wanted to get there and back sort of as quick and as cheaply as we could. The park is also open from 7 AM to about 3:30, 4 PM. Highly recommend coming here as early as you can in the morning, because we got here at 8 AM.
And it's already pretty hot.
Yeah, it's boiling already.
Oh, we're halfway there. 3 more to go.
One more kilometer. This is actually how far the Jeep comes up. Pretty much takes you all the way to the waterfall. Maybe we can sneakily get one back.
I don't think so.
There are actually 2 waterfalls at Nauyaca, the lower falls and the upper falls. We highly recommend heading straight down to the lower falls first in order to get your pictures in and dive straight into that refreshing pool after the long hike. You can even swim over to the waterfall for the ultimate power shower. Once you're done admiring the lower falls, you can head back up and along the walkway towards the upper falls. From here you get a different perspective of the falls and pool below, and can climb up to get a closer look at the upper falls too.
We're just starting our walk back from the waterfalls now. We had a okay amount of time there.
We had about 1.5 hours there. It's quite a good amount of time if you just go there to chill, swim a little bit, take a few photos.
It did feel a little bit rushed, and of course now we're like trying to push ourselves to get back to the entrance so we don't miss the bus that we want to catch.
Yeah,
the waterfalls were 100% worth the effort.
So beautiful. The lights on it was just amazing. Nearly like 11 o'clock, so it's getting really hot. It's not gonna be a fun walk back.
This is it.
The hardest part of
Actually the entire way back for the first 4 kilometers to the car park was actually pretty much all downhill. I didn't realize actually how much uphill we went on the way there. Just this last section, this last 2 kilometers is very steep. We've still got about an hour to get to the bus stop, so
we can manage 2 kilometers in an hour.
How far have we come? Oh, this is brutal. If you have a car, bring a car. This last section is disgusting. See the level of my sweat? Just beading sweat. Sweaty high five.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh. Even if you don't have a car, just hire a car for the day. Even if it's more expensive, it's not worth climbing that hill. Oh yeah, great sense of achievement. Burned about 1,000,000 calories.
We just had a cold shower waiting for me.
Yeah.
We then waited for our bus back to Quepos for a while before it came and took us all the way back to the town.
This is our last night in Manuel Antonio and one of our last nights in Costa Rica.
Unfortunately.
We've come down to the beach to watch the sunset, which we're hoping is going to be really nice.
So we really enjoyed our stay here in Manuel Antonio despite the heat.
Yeah, it's been
But
very hot.
honestly, this was probably our favorite place in terms of wildlife.
We're obviously not like beachy kind of people, as we've said, but the mixture of kind of jungle and beach here sort of gives you a bit of variety. For us, that's been kind of perfect. Like, we don't need to chill on the beach all day, so we can go in the jungle, do a few little hikes and adventures, and then just come to the beach in the evening and sort of relax, which has been like the perfect balance. great time in Manuel Antonio. So we hope you've enjoyed watching this video. We're also going to be leaving Costa Rica very soon.
We're going to a new country for both of us and a new continent as well.
So leave a comment down below if you can guess which country we're going to be going to next. If you like this one, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing, and we'll see you in a new country and a new adventure on the next video.
Bye!
Bye!